Over the last month plus on the channel, we have done 50 zombies hot takes. And in today's edition of the hot take series, I will be reacting to your guys' hot takes. If you saw my poll posted yesterday, I took some from there as well as comments from both of the videos. We're going to go through a good amount. We're going to give our thoughts. There will be a scale of strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, neutral, somewhat agree, and strongly agree. Let's see who came in with the best takes. Ibi Mahmood said, my hot take is that they need to bring perma perks back. One of the reasons I love Buried so much is doing something random and getting rewarded with a boost just makes the game more enjoyable and fun. Strongly agree. I don't know, are they in Black Ops 7? I thought I heard of that. I haven't played much. Perma perks are such a fun addition. We should be able to do random stuff like that and get rewards or have fun, like the permanent ray gun or the PhD on Buried, or even like the sniper perma perk, which just gives you a shit ton of points. Definitely agree. Critical Snips says, World War II had better Easter eggs than Cold War. It was one of the most unique zombies we've had in a while. Most people can't comprehend how good we've had it back in 2019. Unfortunately, I'm not even like a Cold War fan. I'm gonna have to disagree. Not strongly, but I'm going to disagree. The Final Reich was actually really fun, and like the horror elements were great. The Darkest Shore was, okay, but other than that, I'm not a big fan of like the Tortured Path or the Shadow Throne. Not a huge fan overall compared to Cold War. I respect the take, but I'm going to have to disagree. Sky Warren 5 said, hot take, the Tortured Path from World War II Zombies is the best DLC the game has had. I'm guessing he just means World War II, and I'm going to disagree. I don't think it's the best DLC. I think the Darkest Shore and the Shadow Throne are better. Even the Frozen Dawn, I think, is better. I can't do the Tortured Path. That fish step, man. I'm going to have to disagree. Excuse me if I mispronounce this, but and2, and then some letters in there, says, my hottest take is that DE is boring. A bland, easy map, and not easy in a fun and replayable way, but easy in a bland Cold War map kind of way. Even Jason said it's a casual map made for everyone, and it's just a simple, blander Origins without the sauce that made Origins interesting and replayable. It is also just a freak fest of reused enemies with a reskin and dumbed down version of the Origins staff. Not even the quests for the bows are fun, unlike the staffs, and also the boss fight is just a bland mid-fight with the most basic boss fight mechanics that already existed back in 1990. All in every modern BO6 and BO7 boss fight clears whatever that is. It puts me to sleep, and no offense, I think people who rank it number 1 are just casuals. Just a bland, uninteresting failed copy of Origins. Worst original map on BO3, no competition. Look, I respect all opinions, but I'm going to have to strongly disagree. Now, I don't think Eisendrache is the best map of all time, so if people are putting it there, I do think they are overrating it a bit, but I actually like the bows better than the staves. Although the staves came first, I think the bows look is just perfect. The aesthetic is perfect, the effects, I love the bows. It definitely is an easy map, like a little casual, but to me it's replayable, and then with the boss fight, I will defend Zombies and say that was the first one they've ever tried. The Shadows of Evil doesn't really count. That was like their first main boss fight. I understand your point. It is a lot of reused stuff. It's basically like Origins 2.0, but ultimately, I'm going to have to disagree. Now, Virgil Sparta says, hot take, Advanced Warfare is the worst COD Zombies game. Even worse than Vanguard, and Infection is the worst Call of Duty Zombies map of all time. Infection is probably right there, so I'm going to say that's a valid take. Infection is just awful. Advanced Warfare in general is just awful. I really dislike Vanguard, but at least Vanguard has Shinonuma Reborn. AW has Carrier, which is like the best map, and even then it's not very good. I don't like the systems, and artistically I would give it to Vanguard, especially since it's a newer game. I'm gonna somewhat agree with that take. Hershey1747 says, Moon may be the most disrespected map in history. I will die on that hill. Still to this day, Moon is the most finale map we've ever had. I mean, geez, what other map lets you blow up an entire planet? The wave gun is one of the best wonder weapons ever. Area 51 was one of the best starting areas ever. And outside of the RNG, Moon may have one of the best Easter eggs ever. Criminally disrespected. I don't like Moon. Just plain and simple. I ranked every Treyarch map. It didn't even scratch the top 25. I'm going to have to strongly disagree. I respect the opinion because Moon does have a lot of interesting features, like the hacker is amazing, the astronaut needing the helmet, QEDs and everything are fun. Obviously, the storyline is huge. You're blowing up the moon, it leads into Black Ops 2. That stuff I can respect. I hate the way that Jug and Speed Cola work on the map. I hate that you need your astronaut helmet and you need the hacker, but you can only carry one at a time. And especially with the hacker being, in my opinion, the best part of the map, I really think that was a flaw in the system. And I think any Easter egg that requires you to spin the box for certain things, however long you can, just gets a little deduction from me. Overall, I'm not a huge Moon fan at all, but I will respect that opinion. I'm going to strongly disagree. Crashed says, here's another take. Black Ops 3 has the most boring weapons of all time. I'm gonna have to disagree. I don't think Black Ops 3 has the best guns, but I do think there is a lot to like. I love the Haymaker. I just love the shotguns. I love the Drakon. It's an awesome gun. I think the HVK is one of my favorite guns ever. The ICR, just tons of good weapons. I mean, obviously every gun in Black Ops 3 is basically amazing with double pap, but I would give the most boring guns ever to Black Ops 4. It reused many from Black Ops 3, and even the original ones just were not fun to use at all. I really don't like the weapons in Black Ops 4, so I'm going to have to somewhat disagree. I won't say strongly disagree, because I won't sit here and say the Black Ops 3 weapons are amazing, but I'm going to disagree. And my boy Alec comes in here. Go subscribe to his channel. He does zombie stuff. He said, hot take, Shadows of Evil is easily one of the better zombies maps, and most of the hate comes from people who never bothered to actually learn it. Once you understand the rituals and setup flow, it plays smoother than half the so-called simple maps people praise. Now, I wouldn't say that's like the hottest take I've heard on here, but I 100% agree. It's my favorite map of all time. The ritual system and everything, the beast mode, it's perfect. It seems complicated at the start, and obviously to a lot of us, if we were like, young playing it, it was complicated. But like Alex said, you learn it, and it's a lot of fun. It's my favorite map ever, and with him saying it plays smoother than half these so-called simple maps, I actually do agree. Even if it's a pretty large map, it's easy to get around, it's easy to memorize locations of shield parts, the silver protector fuses, like everything flows together so well, so I will strongly agree. Mike DeBacker says, here's one of my hot takes. BO3 and onwards, turning damn near every single gun in the game amazing, and even putting most of them on the wall was a bad thing. Absolutely agree, 100%. AATs allowing wall weapons to carry you to however many rounds you want if you're good enough is just ridiculous to me. It made the mystery box pretty much useless. Like, why even spin it at that point? You can get any gun off the wall and then you can buy the ammo from the wall. Like, it's cool for a little bit and then eventually you realize like, the issue that it's brought to zombies. So I'm going to have to say strongly agree. That's a great take. Morgana from Persona 5444 says, Cold War was and still is the hardest modern zombies game, which isn't saying much in the grand scheme of things, but still, it's objectively the hardest zombie game. I don't know, they all kind of feel so similar to me. I don't play a lot of modern zombies, but I have played them all, and I'm gonna have to say I disagree. Simply because of the fact that I think the Cold War boss fights are so easy compared to these Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7. Like, dude, playing the Tomb, Reckoning, like, those boss fights are literally hell. So, to me, it's so similar, including the boss fights. I'm going to have to give the edge to Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, so I'm going to have to somewhat disagree with the take. Daniel Duke said, Black Ops 7 has 3 S-tier maps, Kawakujo, Totenreich, and Ashes. Now, I have played these maps, and I really enjoy them, but I haven't played them that much to really state a full opinion, but for now, I'm going to say I slightly disagree. S-tier is a very hard category to hit, and maybe if I play more, I'll come around to that opinion. I do think Totenreich is right up there. Totenreich was amazing. Kawakujo is amazing. Even Ashes was really good. Ashes is probably my least favorite of the 3. Still really fun. And I think if I played all these, I would probably agree. I mean, all I hear is amazing things about these maps. And when I play them, it's a ton of fun. Aside from the modern zombie system, which I don't love. So I'm going to have to say slightly disagree for now, but let me know if you guys want to see some modern zombies content on the channel. Swift211 says, Shadows is overrated. As a map on its own, it's okay, but as a map for someone who just bought BO3 without DLCs and playing it for the first time, it's horrible. I'm going to strongly disagree, but let me give my take. I don't think it's overrated. As a map on its own, I think it's amazing, obviously. It's my favorite. But when you say, for someone who just bought BO3 without DLCs and playing it for the first time, it's horrible, I wouldn't say it's horrible, but I do agree. Shadows is a hard map for your first map. It's complicated. There's a lot to do. There's mechanics and things that you haven't gotten the chance to learn. So I will say, if you're a new player buying Black Ops 3 and trying out Shadows, you're probably not going to like it that much. So I do think that's a pretty nuanced take, and I respect that, but I'm going to have to disagree. Nobody says, boss fights and zombies have been a negative influence on Easter eggs and storytelling in the game, and they are overused now. Dude, that's actually a really interesting take, and part of me wants to agree, but overall I'm going to say I slightly disagree. I think boss fights were needed in terms of it adds an extra element to the Easter egg, it makes things harder and also more rewarding. But I will say I don't like modern zombies boss fights, even if they're a lot harder. I'm not a huge fan. I love Black Ops 3 boss fights. I even love the Black Ops 4 boss fights. I do think modern zombie boss fights are a little over the top, and it almost doesn't even feel like zombies at times when I'm doing them. And yeah, I wouldn't say they do anything incredible for the story nowadays, but I don't know how many people are following the modern zombie storyline, including myself. So that's actually a pretty decent take. I will say I slightly disagree, but definitely one of my favorites so far. Daniel Lewis says, most people hating on modern zombies, mainly BO6 and 7, only hate it because people told them to, or they are blinded by nostalgia, and don't actually like zombies as much as they think they do. I'm gonna say I kind of agree on this one. Just try it. I'm telling you, just try Black Ops 6, especially try Black Ops 7, which I think is much better. There are genuinely quality maps. There's quality gameplay. Yeah, of course it sucks that it's like Warzone and there's armor plates and all that. I agree. I don't like those systems. I'm not saying these games are amazing. I'm not saying they're better than the older games, but give it a shot. There are still zombies elements. I think you are going to enjoy it. Maybe don't buy it for the price that they set it at, but if it ever comes on sale, I do think it's worth giving a try. So I will say I agree with that take. Hyper Ames says Dead of the Night is now an overrated map and not underrated. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say I kind of agree. Dead of the Night is an amazing map. Like, it is so unbelievably fun. There are so many cool themes and cool elements. The vibe is undefeated. The Easter egg is just kind of insufferable at times. The scratch step is just so over the top. The boss zombies are just completely overwhelming. I mean, that is the case for most Black Ops 4 maps. But people definitely do paint it as a perfect map or a top 5. I've even seen people say it's the best map of all time. To me, it's around that 15 to 10 range, maybe a little bit higher than that. Amazing map, and I give it its praise, but I do have to say nowadays it's a tiny bit overrated. Mr. Chase says best 3 COD Zombies games are IW, Black Ops 4, and Black Ops 7. BO2 is a bottom 3 zombie game. I have to strongly disagree with this one. Infinite Warfare is fun. I love Spaceland. Rave is like pretty fun. Attack of the Radioactive Thing is pretty fun. Challenge Shuffle's alright. I don't think it's that high quality. I can't put it up with the top tier of maps. I do think it's a top 5 zombies game. BO4 is in my top 3, but BO7 is close, but not there yet. And then BO2 being a bottom 3 zombies game, I cannot get behind. It's still my second favorite game. I go back and forth between BO2 and BO4 for my favorite, but I just want to say we have World War II, Advanced Warfare, and Vanguard. I cannot put Black Ops 2 anywhere near there. I think it's better than Black Ops 1 and World at War as well. And Cold War. So yeah, I'm going to have to strongly disagree, but that is a hot take, and that's what I asked for. Akiel said old school, so I don't know if my takes are hot, but 1, I hate the story. Not the execution, but the very concept of not being some failed super soldier with hints of supernatural alien, but an incomprehensible multiverse of Lovecraftian creatures. I am the biggest fan of the zombie storyline, so I'm gonna have to disagree. Yes, the zombie storyline gets a little jumbled. It's pretty hard to follow unless you're watching like a Chopper or a Mr. Raffle Waffles or my 3-minute zombies storyline video. But like, when I was diving into it, when I went down the hole of the zombie storyline, it's unbelievable. I love the Lovecraftian features, unlike this guy. But I definitely do respect it, and I get it. Like, if you are old school, you're not gonna want all this like fantastical stuff, all this mythical stuff in like a zombies game, which is, you know, stereotypically zombies is like a grunge, like hard-nosed super soldier thing, like he said. So I respect the take, but I'm definitely gonna have to disagree. Mr. Voidkeeper said, good vid, thank you. Me personally, my hot take is if anyone says Origins is their favorite map, they are 100% not talking about Black Ops 2. BO2 Origins is one of the worst experiences of my life, and the only reason people like Origins is because BO3 fixed it. Even on BO3 though, Origins is still a mid-tier map. Annoying mud, lack of training areas, worst bow is still better than the best staff. The only positives are the staffs are kind of cool even if they aren't that good, and the story is pretty cool. Now this is a fellow zombies YouTuber as well, go check him out, so I will respect his opinion absolutely, and I actually do agree. Black Ops 3 Origins is much better than Black Ops 2. Unfortunately, where I do disagree is saying that Origins is a mid-map. Yes, the mud is inconvenient, the lack of training spots, for me it's not a huge issue because I'm not a high rounder. I love the Easter egg, although some steps are a little convoluted, I think it's so much fun. I think the introduction to the premise crew was perfect, the cutscenes, like you said, the story was amazing. And I love the staffs personally. I think they were so innovative for their time. I love Origins. It's my second favorite map, so I will have to disagree, but I think it's a solid take. Jefferson Epstow said, hot take, the zombie storyline should have ended with Origins. I'm gonna have to strongly disagree for 2 reasons. 1, I think the Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 storyline was the prime. I love the redemption of Richtofen. I love the premise crew. The Black Ops 4 ending, although the cutscenes weren't the best, I thought it was a great ending. And second of all, Origins was the start of the new story. So I think if you're saying it should have ended anywhere, then it probably should have ended at Mob. just because Origins introduces the Primus crew and like starts that whole storyline. So I feel like it'd be weird to start that and end it right there. Wazencole, hopefully I'm saying that right, said, my hot takes, GK is the best map in BO3, Dead of the Night is a top 5 map, and Vanguard Shinonuma is an A tier map. I disagree with all three, but I don't disagree with any of them like egregiously. I mean, Vanguard Shinonuma is like a C tier to me, but like it's fun. Like it is what it is. It's like Shinonuma with a modern system. It's cool. It's whatever. Dead of the Night isn't top 5 to me, like we talked about earlier, but it is around that 8 to 15 sort of range. And GK being the best map in Black Ops 3, I do disagree, but I think it has the best Easter egg. It's a phenomenal map. It's top 10, so I really can't get mad at that. Local Cool Kid says, out of the core zombie games, BO1 through 7, Cold War and World at War, Black Ops 1 is a bottom 3 zombies game, just beating out Cold War and World at War. I disagree, but it's not that bad of a take. Like, hear me out, it's not that bad. Like, my bottom 3 would absolutely be Cold War and World at War. And then it's like BO6 would probably be there. And then it's probably Black Ops 1. So it's like my 4th least favorite from the Treyarch zombie games. And I don't think he's including Vanguard. So I don't hate it. It's not, I disagree, but it's not a bad take. Like, it's not a bad take. So, you know what? I respect it. And finally, to end it off, we have Kaylin Rell, who says, Voyage is the only Chaos map that isn't better than DE. Now, 9 is a fantastic map, but I unfortunately think it's just a little bit worse than DE. It's like a tier below. Ancient Evil, I think, is absolutely better than Eisendrache. Like, Ancient Evil is a ridiculous map. I like the DE Wonder Weapons definitely better than the Scorpion Wonderwaff thing. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I think both maps have a pretty basic layout, so they don't get any points there. Although I do think the vibe of 9 is better than Eisendrache. The story on 9 just doesn't hold up for me. I'm not a huge fan of the boss fight with the 2 elephants. It's close. 9 is like a borderline top 10 map, but DE to me is a borderline top 5 map, so I am going to have to disagree. That was me reacting to your guys' hot takes. Thank you all so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much, and thank you all for 500 subscribers. We have a 500 subscriber special vlog coming. It should be out by Sunday. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for it. And if you guys want to see a follow-up, comment down more hot takes and tell me you want it again. And I will see you all in the next one.